What is happening, everyone? You are back with TROP-CAST episode 26, and we're back again. This is our second week running since we came back. We're happy. We've got some massive news, but first of all, let me introduce the crew. I am Ronan Fox, your host. With me, we have Paddy Toner. What's happening, Paddy?
All right, Ron. It's good to be back, man. How are you?
It's good to be back. You were off last week. You were dearly missed. So this week we're gonna be attacking.
Dearly, dearly. Oh, come on.
Dearly, dearly, dearly. This week we're going to be having a chat about that Google Stadia that you're very interested in. We said we'd touch on it last week, but we're going to really do a deep dive on it this week with topic of the week.
Get ready for an argument.
Get ready for the argument of the year. Oh my God, it's Royal Rumble. And over on the other side there we have Seamus Fanning. What's happening, Seamus?
What's the crack, lads? I was going to say, Paddy, you must have shares in Google or something. You really want to talk about this week?
Well, maybe I do. Like, I got to have all my eggs. You can't put them all in one basket. You have to spread them out a bit. Do you know what I mean?
What are you hiding from us?
Google.
Wheeling and dealing in the background. But speaking of wheeling and dealing, we have a new sponsor, Kaiju Gaming Lounge in Cork. We are happy to have himself on. Paddy, you're going to give us a few details about exactly what this place is, and I am going to jump over to the Facebook page. So if you want to give us a little bit of background about Kaiju Gaming Lounge.
Well, it's a gaming lounge in Cork. I thought we were going to run through the Facebook page.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's run over to the Facebook
So make
page.
sure I don't mess that up.
So I just want to make sure we're all still here. Bear with me now a second. That is the wrong one. So let's bring it over here. So yeah, we are good. So what we're going to do is, this is the trailer here, so it'll give you a kind of an idea of what exactly is here. I'm very impressed because it's got, as you can see, gaming PCs. Looks like there's maybe 20 there. That is awesome to have a place like that in Ireland. I haven't really heard of any other place that is doing that at the moment. And these kind of places are, I won't say they're a thing of the past, because with gaming PCs, there's a lot of people out there that might not be able to afford gaming PCs, and to go to a place like this and to bring your friends. And I think the message that this place wants to send is, gaming at the moment, it can be very isolating. If you're at home, yes, you are playing with your friends online, but the idea of this place to go and socialize with your friends is amazing. To go down and have a couple of games of Counter-Strike, League of Legends, let me go through a couple of other games that these guys play here. So there you have, they're chilling out and playing some CSGO with some pizza. So it's always good to get some pizza in there. Some really actually awesome systems. I'm just looking through a couple of the pictures here. Really cool setup.
I think it's quite innovative of them, like, to have put something like this together, because nowadays, like, we don't have LAN parties. People don't come over and they'll bring their computers.
Exactly.
We don't do any of that stuff anymore. And this place kind of provides that. It also provides a couple of things. Like, if you're an avid gamer and you like to compete, but you don't have as powerful a rig to play at events, like, say you're a League of Legends player and you play it and you get into a competition, this is a place where you can go, and that computer won't let you down. That connection will not let you down. You can go there and you can use their facilities to compete at a higher level, and you know you're going to compete at the best that you can. Like, nothing's going to fail on you. But it also, like, it's wall-to-wall computers, and has PlayStations, it has Xboxes, it has everything for anyone. Like, if we wanted to throw a little event or something like that and have a meet up and say, hey boys, we're going to have an Unreal tournament ad
That
hoc.
could be in the future.
This is going to happen. This is the kind of place you contact. This is where you go. You want to do something like that. You're a university at Cork and you want to have an event for your SU. This is the kind of place you go. They say, well, everything here is top notch. Everyone's at the same level when they started. There's no cheating. There's no nothing. These are the kind of places we need more of these things around.
We definitely do. I believe that this is I suppose the futuristic arcade. It's not a case that you're going in and you're spending a couple of quid to get a game or two of Street Fighter, which there was nothing wrong with that, but there was also the fact that people had these consoles at home, so there was no reason to step out and pay money to an arcade machine. But places like this, I really think can hit, if they hit Ireland, and I think they will, and especially this place, if they hit the right market, there will be, you know, they do tournaments, they do events, and I'm sure we're going to go down there at one stage to do a live podcast down there, which would be very excited to, you know, to do a bit of gaming and then to do a podcast and have a bit of a chat with the people coming in and get a kind of a flow of the place. Because going by the pictures, it's very hard to judge an atmosphere by the pictures, but going by the pictures, it looks like a very chilled out place to be, and a place that I would like to spend, you know, a Saturday afternoon. I think the opening times are 2 o'clock to 11 o'clock, so that's really good times for someone that, like myself, if you're working until 6 o'clock in the evening, you can head into town and go and grab yourself a computer and a couple of your mates, and just the fact that you're all beside each other, you can really collaborate. If it is a case that you're building an esports team, I think something like this is next to none. So we are blown away by our first sponsor, and we're so happy that this place is on board with us and is liking what we are doing, and we're going to try and promote and do everything we can to make sure this place you know, is successful. And yeah, that's kind of that's everything from our sponsor, or for our sponsor. Paddy, if you want to add anything more there.
It's just, I was talking to the owner himself, Paolo, and he seems very in tune on what's going on in Ireland at the minute. He seems very down to earth, and he seems he was very nice to approach us, to ask us to sponsor us, and he knows the way that things are going to go in the future. And I think it'd be great just to show support back and visit him in Cork if he can, and bring the gaming world, bring Ireland up in the gaming world, because I think it's still far behind, and these places popping up everywhere are the new arcades. So like, go to them and enjoy your day and stay out of the pub for a while. So that's all I really have to say about it.
Exactly. That tradition of heading and getting wasted every weekend is, I know there's people that still enjoy doing that, and I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with it, but there is. You're damaging your body. But going to a place like this, 10 years ago you were known as the weirdo that headed down to the arcades, but now it's more acceptable, and it's great to see places like this really pushing it into the forefront and trying to get people, you know, doing other stuff, or like
giving something else to do with your day.
Exactly, rather than just going for pints. I love a good pint myself. Seamus is the same. Paddy's one for the non-alcoholic stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Next sponsor.
Yeah, you drink enough Monster for the whole lot of us, Paddy. You want to start giving up that stuff?
Yeah, true. A bit of water.
But no, it's great to have something different, and yeah, I'm delighted. I can't wait to go down and just check out this place and just be a part of the kind of atmosphere down there. It looks awesome. So what we'll do is, guys, do you have anything to talk about before we go into our what we're playing? What have you been up to? Paddy, you've been out for the last while. You weren't on last week's show. How has life been treating you?
Yeah, it's been grand. Just flat out working away, creating contact, pushing content, hoping for the best for Trop. That's really
no, fair play to you. Now you've really been putting in the work, a lot of graphic design, trying to push it to the max, and yeah, my hat's off to you. You've been really doing great. The work
streaming
in the background.
As well, of course. Forgot about that.
Streaming, yeah. Me and you both.
That's it.
Fano?
Not new to add anyway. No, I'm the same as everyone else. Just on the grind, boys.
That's it.
I'm never gonna call it that. I'm sorry. I'm never gonna call streaming on the grind. I feel like it's wrong. Like it should be a pleasurable thing. It shouldn't feel like this.
Is that Kelly song comes to your mind? Is it?
What's that?
You know.
No.
I'm not in the forest like killing boars, and no, it's not a grind. I'm enjoying it.
Roland.
What's that?
How did the event go this weekend?
The FIFA event. It was
on Mother's Day, Roland. For God's sake.
I know, on Mother's Day. Yeah. Coming up to it, I got slashed for it during the day. I got slashed for it. Mothers were coming in, banging the door down, going, "Where is my son? He's meant to be at home making me dinner." My hands are up. I apologize. For to my wife and my own mother. But we were able to get through the tournament fairly quickly. We started at 12:30, registration at 12:30, started at 1 o'clock, and we finished up about 3:30. Some amazingly entertaining games. My wife actually came down to visit and with my 2 kids, and she basically says it was like a creche for adults. That's the way she put it. A creche for lads, basically. She walked in and everyone was just glued to the screen. There was free pizza there. I want to thank Ross from Colombia, who put on a great show for us. He actually entered the tournament as well and came third, sorry. He was the one that was using Aston Villa. So we had a Villa versus Birmingham match in the semi-finals, which was entertaining, very entertaining actually. Probably one of the best games of the whole day.
Did they all pick these teams voluntarily?
Yeah, well, Ross is actually a big Villa fan, and Killian, who won it out, he kind of likes Birmingham. So the 2 lads, obviously with the rivalry, said it'd be a bit of crack if they did Villa v the Blues. So it was fun. It was definitely fun. So yeah, it was a good day. It was very chilled out. We will do one again soon. It won't be Mother's Day. We'll try and get a day that suits everyone.
Father's Day be better. Soon here comes.
Yeah, Father's Day would be good, because all the women would have to bring the father down to play FIFA.
It'd be not more accessible, I'd say.
A little bit, yeah. You wouldn't have the rat coming in anyway, baiting the doors down. Why did you do this on Mother's Day? Like, I got that a couple of times throughout the day when my cousin Christian, he brought his mother down, and she was kind of sitting there going, yep, this is what I'm doing on Mother's Day, okay. And I'm like, you better win, Christian, because at least you'll be able to buy her something nice. But he ended up doing some commentary with me, which was cool.
I heard him. He did very well.
Yeah, so he wants to be a streamer when he's older as well. So shout out to him. Yeah, so we'll go on to the usual section. Fano, what have you been playing for the last week?
Not much has changed in a week. It's still Sekiro and Apex. I'm not good at Sekiro.
You're not good, no?
No.
I'd like to say that I've seen Fano rage quit. He's going to deny it, but he has rage quit on stream.
This game has brought out the worst in me. I have evolved into an angry person. So, and I mean, I thought I gave out with FIFA a lot, and no, Sekiro has. And I mean, it's not even like I've got to the stage where I'm blaming the game, and I know I'm not supposed to blame the game. I know it's my fault. I know I'm not reading the situation properly, but I don't know. I had a clip that I put up in the community earlier on.
Oh, I see.
I started up the stream yesterday because Apex was down. And I started up the game, I launched the game, and instantly I was dead. There was no reason for it whatsoever. The game loaded up as normal, and then I was just dead. I was like, well, this is typical.
It might be just a hint just to leave the game alone.
Yeah,
I'm leaving that alone.
I think it hates me. I think From Software were like, this is the one we're going to do, Fano. He had way too much of an easy time with
I thought this was the one that you were going to go, this is me. I'm feeling it.
It is unbelievable. It's brilliant. Like I don't know what it is. It's bringing out.
You know what it is? It's too much time playing Apex as well. You can't do that. You have to play the one game at the one time, Fano. Your head is not with it.
I've been taking breaks with it. I've been playing some golf with your friends as well on Steam. That's nice to get away. Just play a bit of mini golf.
What is that? I seen you jumping on that a couple of times.
It's just literally like the digital mini golf. It's just a bit of crack.
Is it literally called mini golf?
No, it's called golf with your friends.
Okay. Because I looked at you, I was like, okay, so I know what it says now. Golf with you. I was like, what is he playing? Like,
it's £6. It's an absolute blast.
Deadly. Paddy, what have you been playing?
Lots and lots and lots and lots of Apex.
How have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing very well. I was completely strung out in it for the first few weeks and stuff that came out, and I ended up number 4 or something in Ireland. I think I'm top 10 now, but everyone is playing the game flat out. They're up to like 2,500, 3,000 kills. But wow. it's a very good game. I've actually been off Fortnite since Apex came out, and then I tried Fortnite this week, and it's still as hard as ever, and it's getting harder. The first person I think I enjoy better with the Apex than the Fortnite, and it's kind of hard. I'm going to try and balance the two of them out, but then when they have time for one-player games at the same time, it's going to be a difficult task.
I'm going to make a comparison here, right? I think Fortnite's like Pokemon. When they first came out, it was like the Johto series, and it was grand, and there was just enough for everyone to enjoy it. And then they just kept adding more and more and more.
No, but I think, yeah, like I know we always do this. Fortnite is always the topic I always come to. But like they're after adding the competitive part and the rank modes, everything. They're doing everything great. If Apex was there now, I would be stuck at Apex. But the way, Frank, that they have the World Cup coming out, they've got the 5 million quid on the line. Like, Fortnite is the pinnacle of battle royales at the minute. Like, it's going to be very. Apex is falling ever so slightly every week, and Fortnite's just going to stay on top.
But offering these big prize pools and stuff like that, does that not show that Epic are getting a little bit worried now?
No, Jesus, no. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how to keep everyone attached to it. All the streamers are back from the Apex lag way that they were at. They're all still staying at that game. The competitive mode where you can rank up between all the ranks, you go up to 7 ranks and you're in championship mode and you can compete for money. You can get invited to massive events. This is all for content. This is all for streamers. This is all for the normal gamers. You can play the normal game and you don't have to use a competitive mode. They're after taking back the potions and the materials when you kill people to stop people thirsting all the time. They listen to their crowd. They're after splitting the competitive and the casual up in 2 different parts, so you can play competitive if you wish, so you won't be getting absolutely smashed in the casual. They do it brilliantly. Like, Epic are on the way to being a massive, massive, massive company. I know they are already, but they're going to keep going with the way their store, everything they're doing. They're the next Facebook of gaming, if you know what I mean. I can't see them being scared even a little bit.
No, they're not scared, definitely.
Like, they've done so well with this game. It's unreal what they're doing with it. And they can throw another battle royale out. EA can throw one out. Anyone could throw it out, and it's just not going to make any difference. They're gone too far ahead. They've ran away with the market, as far as I can tell, anyway. And
do you reckon you'll go back to Fortnite, Paddy, after the kind of Apex bug?
No, but I've been playing. To be honest, I've been playing back Fortnite. What Fortnite has as well is, like, there's some of my friends are still playing Fortnite, and I enjoy their company. So I'm going to try. Like, I like going back and playing with them, and then I like playing with people on Apex. A lot of people are not playing Apex anymore, which is unfortunate. I really love Apex. I'm better at Apex than I am at Fortnite, and that's probably one of the reasons I stuck it out for so long. But there's a lot of people not sticking at Apex anymore. So, like, the social aspect of gaming, which I do enjoy myself, I enjoy having a chat with people. Even on stream, I enjoy when people are in stream with me, talking with me, and that's where I have the crack. So it's kind of the social aspect that will bring me back to Fortnite even before the competitive mode.
I agree with you. I think I'll end up going back to Fortnite as well. I'm on actually Sekiro now as well. I think I'm over halfway through that game. I did a first impressions video that went live today, and I did about thanks a million. I did about 25 hours, and I wanted to put a lot of time in before I gave my impressions, because a lot of time games like that, especially a From Software game, I could be, a little bit naive on it being good or bad, and I just jumped in. I didn't know how to feel about it at the start. I felt the gameplay was very fluid, but I just didn't know if there was this difficulty spike that I was going to hit. A lot of people online were saying that this game is too hard and easy mode and blah blah blah. But I really think that it's the fact that Activision are publishers on this game, that they kind of pushed it out to more of a westernized audience, more of a mainstream audience, and the audience that came in just... I don't know whether they're new to the From Software formula. Seamus, the fact that you've said that you're kind of finding it difficult as well, it's hard to pinpoint where people are finding it difficult. I haven't really struggled with this game at all, actually. I went through a couple of...
Do you think it's where the way you were explaining on the video yesterday, is that you were going from a different angle and you were stabbing at a different angle, you were taking them by surprise, you were doing stuff like... Some people are just running in and just try to take that person on head on.
It's definitely got higher tactics than any other Dark Souls or Bloodborne game before it. Now, a lot of people will argue and say, well, in Dark Souls you can build this type of character, and in Bloodborne you're a lot quicker and you can gain your energy back if you attack quicker. But with this game, you really have so many options when it comes into a normal enemy battle anyway. So if you drop down and you start fighting a guy, if you get swamped by 2 or 3 other enemies, you can just look up, you can use your grapple hook, you can get out of there. You could never do that really in a previous game, apart from if you ran out, but usually you'll get hit once or twice. With this game, you can really just zip out, and people said it to me on the stream. They were like, why are you playing that way? And I said it in the first look, you are a shinobi. You're not meant to be fighting these guys like 6 or 7 in a row. You're meant to be in and out. You're meant to be stealth killing. Like, I mean, it's the first time there's been a stealth mechanic in a From Software game. use it. Like, it's there for a reason. You cut the enemies down, you cut the amount of people, the enemies down that are in an area, and then you're down to maybe 2 or 3, and then you can take them out. Bosses are a little bit different because obviously you go into an arena and you're made fight that boss, and that's when the skill level really is tested. But Seamus, I hope you can kind of click with you. There's a couple of little bits of advice that I'll go over with you after the stream that might just allow you to play the game a little bit differently and stop that frustration, because I said it in the first look, it is a difficult game, but there's so many different ways that you can play it that I think if you approach it a little bit differently, it might just click. So I really haven't been playing anything apart from that. I had my most viewed stream the other night when I was taking on like 4 or 5 bosses in a row. Thanks to everyone that kind of checked in and commented, good and bad. I got a couple of bad comments because of the way yeah, exactly, because of the way I was playing, but they didn't complain when I was beating everyone and getting through the game. So it was it's just the way I play. Like, I like to play a game smart. I like to play a game the way I want to play it. I'm not going to play a game because, you know, it's good for the viewers or good for this. I hope that the way I play will be good for the viewers. I'm not going to change my game style just to suit them. So yeah, that's really where I've been at. I haven't really played anything else apart from a little bit of FIFA at the weekend. But Sekiro has taken up all my time. I'm going to be jumping on after this podcast. I'm going to be playing another 4 or 5 hours probably. I'm loving it. It's my game. If it was out last year, it's my game of the year last year if it came out. And at the moment, it's up there with game of the year this year. I know there's a couple of big hitters to come out this year, but they will have to be very, very good for them to beat this game for me. So we may as well head on to news if we've got through all everyone's playing. Anyone playing anything else? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've got through Sekiro. Yeah, what's next?
Seamus, we'll do a tutorial video for you on Saturday. So I'll get you through that game. I don't want you to give up on it.
I'm not going to.
So Sega is releasing the Genesis Mini. I don't know whether that's big news. I think a lot of people kind of seen this coming, but it's nice to get another one of these mini consoles, even though I have none of them. I created like a retro Pi back in the day, a couple of years ago, and didn't really play it all that often. Gave it to a friend, and it's been sitting on his shelf gathering dust. But these minis are a great collector's item, and there's a couple of games announced for this. There's going to be 40 games, but Paddy, if you want to name out the first couple, and Seamus can name out the second.
All right, let me think of the list.
How dare you?
There's Seamus, you can name the first ones. I know you like the
I'm right.
Let's go.
Altered Beast is on it, which is an absolute rock hard game. It's a kind of a side-scrolling beat 'em up-y kind of. It fits my portfolio perfectly. But the second game on the list that came up was Castlevania Bloodlines. And if you're a fan of the series but you haven't played that game, that's worth buying this alone. It's absolutely brilliant. It has a great story to it and everything. Then we've got Comic Zone, which is the hardest game in the world. I don't care about Sekiro, Dark Souls, or anything else. Comic Zone is the hardest game that was ever created. And then it kind of takes a step back then, and you've got Dr. Botnick's Beam Machine, which is Puyo Puyo. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. It's like a Tetris-y kind of game.
Seamus, you name all 10. You seem to know all about them.
Are they harder than Sekiro, Seamus?
Comic Zone's the hardest game that's ever been made.
All right, it's gone away from Bloodborne. Right,
we don't talk about that.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
No, but there's some other good titles on it. But I'll let you name it. Titles. I actually have more information on this, but we go ahead.
Oh, good.
Where are we down to?
Okay, the other games. Oh, you go on. Sorry.
Where are you, Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine? Never played that one. Echo the Dolphin. I think everyone's kind of played that one. That's a fairly legendary game. Gunstar Heroes. Never played.
It's a really rare game. It's on the Sega Mega Classics. This one, right? No, I don't have it here, do I? No, I don't have it at hand. Doesn't matter.
Paddy, do you want to name out the next one?
Shining Force. I have no idea.
Shining Force.
I do have it right here.
Okay, let's just move on to what we want on it.
Okay.
I want Road Rash, Mortal Kombat, Streets Rage, and all the Sonics. That'll do me.
Well, Sonic the Hedgehog has been announced, but it's only the first one.
Yeah.
I'd like the game Skitchin. I don't know if anyone knows that game.
Yeah, I do know that game. I still have to
Street Fighter 2.
I have that game for you somewhere, I think.
But on to more things about it. So Sega actually were originally doing this with At Games, who did a lot of their older mini consoles, and people hated them.
Yeah.
So kind of people power kicked in there, and Sega fired At Games, and they're doing this in house on their own.
Also, there's only 3 buttons on the controller. I want 6.
You see, that's another thing. The controllers are USB.
Yeah, which so you would hack them straight away.
100%.
100%. Just go back. You might as well get a pie. You know what I mean?
But this is what I'm talking about. Like, is this just a collector's? Like the game that you had in your hand there, are all them games on that collection?
No. Well, first of all, there's only 30 games on that. No, Castlevania Bloodlines is definitely not on it.
Is Castlevania Bloodlines on PS4 to download? You know, as one of those retro games.
That's
Symphony of the Night,
Blood of Rondo, and Symphony of the Night. That's what's on that.
The thing is, a lot of collectors want to have it from their company. You know what I mean? They want it from like an original. They need it from the company to come out, so they want it. It doesn't matter if they can get everything emulated on your PC. They want.
It's not the same. No, I'll put it definitely isn't the same. I will agree with that one.
The announced trailer for this as well is, if you watch it through, there's a thing where the guy pushes down the cartridge slot and it opens. So I don't know if they're actually going to put something to actually read your old cartridges in this as well, or is it just a feature?
That'd be kind of a weird kind of thing to do, though, isn't it? They're all HD quality.
At Games, Sega Mega Drive, their emulator ones, they actually had, you could actually put cartridges in that, and it didn't read every single one of them, but a lot of them it did read, and you could play your games off the cartridges. So if they took
what was that called? There was something else that came out. You could do that. You could get cartridges, you put them in, and it'll save the cartridge on the console for you. Is that
Retron 5?
Retron 5, is that what it's called? Yeah, that was good.
Retron 5 was class. Yeah,
people love that. It's not going to be. I can't see it being smashed off the shelves like a Nintendo product, but it might do well enough.
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that like Sonic and like official Sega items, so I think it could do quite well. Like we've had the NES Classic, we've had the SNES.
It's not going to go NES Classic well. I can't see it. Like everyone that's anyone bought one of them fucking things. The NES, Nintendo just market it better, I think. Especially if you think that it's not going to be there or we're not going to get it. You know what I mean? I don't think Sega's going to do the same marketing.
I think you mentioned already there, Seamus. Wasn't there one of these released already and it was a big pile of crap?
But see, that's what I'm saying. The At Games ones, like the original crowd that they had doing this, had released a couple of different ones, and actually one of them had Mortal Kombat 2 on it. So you actually might see that, Paddy. You never know.
So, but like, do you not think that takes a little bit of the steam away from releasing this again? Because
not really. Like, you look at this market, like you've got Raspberry Pis. People can just buy a Raspberry Pi and put it in get a case from an old SNES or NES and put it in that, and like it's the same kind of thing. But if you're genuinely a Sega fan and you want a genuine Sega item, this is the way to go about it. Like, people are going to hack these things and they're going to put more ROMs on them and everything else. All that kind of stuff's going to happen. It's just natural that it happens these days. But to have it on something that's like an official Sega product is kind of a little bit nicer than something that this is a Sega product licensed by At Game or At Game product licensed by Sega.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. So the next news item is we're going to play a trailer here, but Devil May Cry is getting an update. It's getting a new game mode. It basically reads, "Attention demon hunters, prepare to get downright demonic, because Bloody Palace mode will be available as a free update to all Devil May Cry 5 owners starting April the 1st, 2019. Bloody Palace is a survival mode that pits you against hordes of increasingly difficult enemies and bosses whilst racing against a ticking timer. Play as Dante, Nero or V in Bloody Palace mode through multiple levels and truly test your stylish skills. The smoking, sexy, stylish Devil May Cry is currently available worldwide for the Xbox One family of devices, including Xbox One X, PlayStation 4, computer entertainment system and PC. New screens for Bloody Palace mode and information on the game are available at the Capcom Press Center."
We haven't got a chance to talk about Devil May Cry 5 yet, have we, Seamus? You played it, didn't you?
I mean, I completed it.
Did you complete it? I didn't think you completed it. I thought Apex took your time up there. How did it go?
It's the most beautiful hard case you'll ever.
It looks pretty good.
It is the most beautiful hard case ever.
It looks like, I'm not going to lie, it looks like it took a little bit, and people might give out to me for this. It looks like a very similar style to the way DMC was. Very similar.
It is. That's the kind of thing about it all. It's definitely taken more from that than the older games, and then that's kind of nice and refreshing in a way.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that kind of, it's more artistic than the kind of previous 4, like 1 through 4 kind of hack and slashy. It has more of an actual story. There's more, like every level there's cutscenes, there's this, that, and the other. It has a nice blend to it, and then all the 3 stories you play as interlap, and they arrive at a conclusion. And it's kind of it's nice to play through something like that, because for the last year we've all been playing Fortnite, we've been playing all these online games, and then we play something like it's nice. This would be my God of War this year.
Yeah.
So I didn't play God of War last year. I needed something very story driven, just to take me back for a bit. Like, just you get sick of playing multiplayer games, and this for me was something I was looking forward to. I hadn't seen it like it in a while. Same with God of War hadn't come out in a while, and it was just.
So it's like a game of the year title ready for you. Like it'll be in the run for game of the year.
I wouldn't say it's a game of the year. It's definitely not a game of the year competitor. But it's, if you like Devil May Cry, if you were waiting for something with that kind of style play to it, and if you enjoyed DMC, because a lot of people didn't enjoy it, but a lot of people said like it was a refreshment. It was a breath of fresh air to some people. And like, if you like that game, but you wanted to have that style of play with Dante and the boys, this is the one. Like,
I absolutely loved DMC.
How long did I play for? It's only about, at the most, 10 hours, 11 hours. It's not a really long game. It's just, I just enjoyed it. It was just, because it brings, like, you've got Dante and you've got V and you've got Nero in it, but they all have different styles of play. They all use different weapons, and V doesn't use weapons at all. He has 2 different summons that he uses, which brings a totally different kind of aspect of fighting to that game.
So do you think that this mode will be really cool, that you're just fighting horde after horde and then it's going to throw bosses? Will you be jumping in, or is it something that you've cleared the game, you're not going back?
I kind of, like, I'm not going to say it's a one and done, because I'm definitely going to go back and I'm going to stream it and I'm going to try to do the Dante Must Die mode, because, you know, everyone has to try it at least once with these games. But something like this kind of survival mode, I associate these things with more like a Tekken or a Street Fighter, where you have your one character and you fight your way on, you keep going, and you get your little bit of health back between each fight. I don't think those kind of things, if you had Dark Souls and you had an arena where this just kept happening over and over again, you get bored very quickly.
Yeah.
And that, to me, doesn't fit this style of play. If it was a thing, if you had horde to horde people, but other players could come in and you had like a team, you could co-op it. It would add an aspect to the game that would be kind of like, it would be fun. You know what I mean? It's like something that we could couch off or something like that, where you just keep going and see how far we could get. Like zombies. Exactly.
Yeah,
something like that, exactly.
Yeah.
But on its own, standalone, not really. No.
That's fair. So speaking of Apex Legends, we talked a little bit about this at the start of the show. Respawn temporarily shut down their servers yesterday, actually. Seamus,
and I was breaking it as well.
Seamus and Paddy were absolutely.
Do not download the update. It updated.
Why? It's already
Why
updated.
are you telling me this now?
Turn your PlayStation off. So it was basically resetting progress, and Seamus dived into the danger zone and see could he get his progress reset. But did it happen, Seamus?
Nothing happened. I downloaded the patch. I was dove head first in, and I was like,
stream on.
All happened. I had the stream open up. I was like, this has, like, I don't even care. This would be hilarious if it happens.
I wouldn't worry either. Like,
I just went matchmaking, not working.
No. I joke.
Only want me, bro.
These are savage.
No, seriously, no. I was like, if it happens, it happens. It'll be funny. Like, I don't really care. But nothing. It just literally said servers are down. Like, well, what a disappointment that was.
No, I think it did happen to some people where it did reset all their stats and everything. Twitter was going mental.
I just kept the tab hashtag Apex open on my Twitter, and in the 2 hours that it was down, there was something like 11,000 tweets.
Jesus.
My
That's it.
God.
Just people. It'll be fine. Calm
There's,
down.
there's little clips of like 25-second clips of like, you know, sponsored streamers like literally yelling at cameras and stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, but like if some people have like 5,000 kills and how many wins, imagine you turn it on and it was gone and be like, this sounds like a waste of time.
A lot of people weren't giving out about the book. They were giving out that they couldn't get on and play.
But that happens with every shutdown. People need to relax sometimes with a shutdown like that. I know if you're coming home from work, you're working all day, like, and you come in and it's not. People lose their cool when their servers shut down. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, how long was it down for? A couple of hours?
3 hours at the most.
There you go. Like, people need to have a little bit of patience and realize that this is an absolute privilege that we have. Just relax, it'll be back. Like, it's not like they're sitting on their arses doing nothing. Like, the developers are working their asses off to try and get the servers back up. But yeah, I find that pretty funny when that kind of stuff
millions
goes down.
and they're just sitting there going, why can't I play this game?
So the next one is kind of more on home soil. Irish augmented and virtual reality AR/VR game development studio Wardux has raised 3.3 million in funding and hired a number of well-known industry veterans, which include our friend of the show, John Romero. Wardux said it intends to use the new funding to drive the development of its new location-based AR game and to expand its development team. Yeah, so they're bringing John Romero on, and
when
John.
does it open?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And speaking of John, he's been very busy. He is partnered up with Paradox to make a new strategy game. So I'm happy to hear that Romero Games are really doing some good in Ireland, developing games. And he's doing, I know he's doing his own in-house stuff, which is top secret. But it's good that he's partnering up and he's getting the recognition.
I hope he has enough time to keep going around to all the cons in Ireland like he has been doing.
I know,
man everywhere.
I know, it's
I thought this was
the man doesn't even do any work. He's just a consultant. He walks in and goes, "Yeah, that's grand."
Yeah. He knows us all by name now, which is ridiculous.
Bag of money and off to a con here.
John, will you come in and chat to us? Yeah, no bother. Let's have it. Like, it is amazing.
It's not like I'm running a stand out here talking to him. No, that's grand. That's what you do.
Yeah. No,
it's good to see an Irish company get so much funding for something as well. They're obviously people are backing it big time, and the augmented reality or whatever would be class. I'm really looking forward to going down to see where's it open. Does it even say on that where it is yet, or does it know? No,
there's nothing there about the location.
I suppose the location is probably going to cost looking the most of it, unfortunately.
True.
It's a big massive warehouse.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All these headsets dangling from the roof.
I bet a lot of places are going to go like setting up like some kind of big battle royale in a big massive warehouse. That'd be savage.
You'd be wrecked after about 5 minutes. Though,
we do this thing every day at dinner time, and it's just good for the mind, my son's mind. We say, like, name something positive that happened in your day, and basically today he was like, well, I got the whole class to play Fortnite, and I was like, how did you do that? And he was like, well, we all pretended we landed in the playground and we were all in different areas and we pretended to build and stuff like that. And I can just imagine him bringing him to an area like this or a place like this, sticking on the headset with a group of his friends and letting them go wild.
I think. Dead. What do you mean? You didn't hit me.
Yeah, no way. You're bleeping. You're bleeping.
It's all fun and games till that one kid throws a rock.
Yeah. You're hit now, aren't you?
now, aren't you?
So the next,
you get raised now. Don't tell the teacher.
Rat.
So the next bit of news, guys, is away from gaming and into the movie scene, and the new Joker trailer dropped this week, and let's just say it is absolutely phenomenal looking. I love the fact that DC are after bringing it away from this CGI.
Hold on, we have the Joker in the stream. How are you doing, Joker?
Oh, well, the Joker trailer is playing now, so you won't be able to see him just yet. But Paddy, you're very excited for this one.
I am very, 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 very excited for this one. I like the Joker a little bit too much, I'll be honest with you. In Batman, Batman Returns, is that the second one from that trilogy?
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, sorry. But he's my favorite character. Heath Ledger did an absolute fantastic job on him. I know loads of people are in there going, no, this Joker's better and that Joker's better. No, he's not. What? Was it Joaquin Phoenix? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, that's it.
He kind of looks like he's the man to take it on, this new role. He looks unbelievable in it. The way he looks, his face, everything is just terrible, just terrifying. If you were walking down the street and you seen that fella coming at you, you know he had a bad day, and you leave him alone. This looks like it's going to take on the role really, really well. Like I'm not sure about having no Batman in it, even though the little Batman is in it, little Bruce Wayne is in it.
Yeah.
But like to take on its own story, I think the only villain that can actually do this in the whole world of the whole supervillain world is this person without the superhero to stop him.
So
I'm really looking forward to it.
They reckon they are pulling it away, bringing in, obviously starting the Batman universe with this movie, and then obviously they're going to bring in whoever that new Batman is going to be. And if they have it the same style as the trailer, I think they're doing it the way they need to do it, the way DC need to do it. DC was never, for me, it was never material that had, you know, CGI out its fucking, sorry for cursing, but you know what I mean? It needs to go back to these grounded stories. And when I read about this Joker movie coming out, a lot of people were like, how can you have Joker without this? And I think because they came off the what was the last one? Suicide Squad, and Jared Leto did an absolute terrible job.
But I think Jared Leto kind of got a bad rap with that one as well, because they didn't really show the Joker enough. They didn't make it develop his character enough. Like, you could go into the arguments of what he didn't get a chance to do.
Well, I'm not even blaming him. I'm blaming the actual script, because he is a fantastic actor. Like, don't get me wrong, but it definitely, the script was terrible the way he was designed.
He wasn't in it enough. That's the problem. Right?
No, he wasn't.
Joker needs a big character, like a big character arc in it. You can't just have him in for like 2 seconds. It doesn't work.
So I think it's perfect, actually, that you're getting a full movie to build that character up. To actually, what I love about this, and I think it's the same with every villain that I really like, is you connect with him on a level, because he's going through the mental health issues. You know, he's lost his mother, because you hear a couple of times in the trailer that she used to tell me to smile. He makes it as a comedian, and then he becomes this revolutionary, and obviously gets a lot of... It's
sticking to I think it's the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke, the
Killing Joke universe.
Because you see him in Arkham Asylum. I don't think it's called Arkham Asylum. I think it's called Arkham State Hospital. Just to make it a little bit more grounded. But like all those places, all those, you know, locations, and having it in Gotham, having the little Bruce Wayne. This is the first DC movie I have been looking forward to since the Batman trilogy. It really has. I think
that's the thing about superhero movies. I understand that a lot of them have to come out for Hollywood, the Hollywood way and everything like that. But sometimes they could release them a bit darker. Do you know what I mean? I think like Batman definitely with his universe needs to be dark, and I hope that they kind of stick to that and not try and make it that every kid can go and watch it. I don't like what's wrong with portraying going to adults for some films. Do you know what I mean?
So let's do a quick run around here. Who, if you were to pick someone to play Batman in, say, the movie after this, who would it be?
Oh Jesus, that's a thinker. A Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to think about that and tell you next week.
Yeah, we'll have a think about that and come back next week with that. Seamus?
I have no idea. Like, in all honesty, you're going to get someone that's probably not going to, like. I think Joaquin Phoenix, like, this is the role that he was nearly born to be. He is that, like, in real life, he's a little bit, I don't want to like take things at him, but he's a little bit out there, like, and his actual past in his life and like his genuine like mental state of mind suits this role completely 100%. But you have to have someone. I don't think you're gonna have a Batman that matches him. I think he's perfect for the Joker role. I don't think you're gonna get a Batman that's gonna be perfect. You're gonna end up with someone like Charlie Hunnam or something like that. Someone that's just a big name that doesn't really deserve the role.
Yeah.
He did a great job with Johnny Cash, so I'll give him that.
Oh, he is an amazing actor. I'm glad he got the part. Jake Gyllenhaal has been hinted that he might get the role. I hope not. John Hamm is also another one that has been hinted. I could see that. Josh Brolin from Avengers, he plays Thanos. He's another one that has been mentioned.
What's your man from Peaky Blinders?
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he would do it.
He played
Scarecrow.
Oh, did he? Damn. He did too. He did too. Damn it! But he'd suit that kind of dark dark hair, kind of.
Yeah, he
that kind
would
of
definitely.
kind of stuff. I think he'd
Um,
suit it.
to be honest with you, there has been times when actors have come back out of different roles, superhero roles or villains, to do a different role within that universe, or even crossed over from DC to Marvel or vice versa. So it's not definitely out of the question. But I just hope they don't pick. I'd love to see them give it to someone just totally new, just out of the way, because Ben Affleck was a mistake. Christian Bale was really like top notch, probably arguably the best Batman out there.
Adam West.
Adam West, amazing. But like, I mean, there's arguments for the whole lot of them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's exciting going forward for DC. Thank God. I know that Shazam is out, and that's after getting really good reviews. Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah, so it's getting well reviewed. I know it's a fun flick, so it's nice that they're even getting away from the very serious, dark, whatever the Batman versus Superman era was. It was not good anyway, so I'm glad they're moving away from that and trying something new. So the next piece of news, guys, we're going to talk about and give our opinion, is what happened to Red Dead Redemption 2 online. Is it dead, Seamus?
Well, you've actually totally picked the wrong person to ask this question, because I didn't play Red Dead.
Because you don't care.
It doesn't now. But like, I know they're trying to add more to it now, and they've got like the standoff mode and all this stuff that they're putting into the online. Like, the only question I have is it enough? Like, has it been too late for them to try and start adding stuff to it now as well? It seems to have died off very quickly. Yeah. Considering like that GTA 5 is still blossoming. Like, I don't even know how.
To be honest, it's like they up there, Rockstar. They went, okay, guys, we have GTA here, and we've got our team here that's doing really, really, really well. I think we'll take this team and we'll put it over here with Red Dead that hasn't made any money from the online yet, and you stay here just in case. You know, that's what it seems like. They're practicing their people at somewhere else. They have done nothing with this game to even, like, there's been very little media coverage of it from online. They're not updating it properly. They had an update there where at one stage they updated the wrong update and they broke some of the things that happened before. They just don't care about this game. They still have say it's in beta. It's a lie. They're not going to roll something better out. Do you know what I mean? They need to. It doesn't, like, every day seems like these days every game has to come out in online mode. It doesn't have to have it. It had such a great story mode. They could have just left it at that, but they had to run the online. No one's played anymore. There's no player base. Like, I don't know what they're going to do to revive this game. I don't think they're going to. Sorry, Seamus, I really took you there.
Oh, it's fine. I kind of think, like, are they hit and miss on everything, like, with Rockstar when it comes to this? Because I don't think GTA 5 particularly had a good story. But the online has just literally gone from strength to strength.
I disagree. I thought the story was very good at GTA 5.
I haven't liked Vice City, to be fair.
No, I thought it was very good. If you're looking to be a gangster and you're like wanting to play games, like, that's me. So
yeah. I thought
do you get one of those jackets and you just flip the collar up when you're playing GTA and everything, do you?
Yeah, I just
sit with the chest puffed out now.
I sit there with a cigar in my mouth, Godfather on the background, and GTA on the TV.
So actually, well, let's do a run around. Paddy, favorite GTA for story wise, I suppose you could say.
San Andreas.
Seamus?
That has to be San Andreas.
Oh, Vice City. It has everything.
It has
the soundtrack.
We're all different.
It has everything.
I'm Grand Theft Auto 4, believe it or not. Just loved it. Loved the realism. Loved how gritty it was. Loved the characters. Yeah,
can we trust him?
GTA 4.
I'm just really into kind of rap music, and
so am I though. San Andreas was brilliant.
San Andreas is probably in there. It's like, yeah, I'm from Compton now.
Yeah, exactly. Building up your hood.
Is Run to You and Video Killed the Radio Star are the best songs to ever be in a GTA game.
There's been a serious amount of good songs in the GTA game, and they're always having to update them because they lose licenses. That's great.
Yeah, so back to Red Dead Redemption. I played, like Paddy, put an awful lot of hours into the single player mode. Loved it, really enjoyed all the roles that were played, all the character building. A lot of people said it was nearly too realistic, but I always like that in games. I love when it goes overboard on the realism. And then I went on to online, and I won't lie to you, it was fun building your posse for about, I'd say I put about 15 hours into it. And then you kind of look around and you're like, there's nothing to do here. They're not bringing in enough content. And it's not even that. You get the feeling that no matter what they bring in, it's not going to be good enough. That you nearly kind of cry out to go back to Grand Theft Auto 5 online, because there is so, if I turn that game on now, like, it's just a massive amount of content there. And I think
the thing is, like, you're in trouble when you say to your mates after building up a posse, you do all this and go, boys, let's go do some online fishing.
Yeah.
Ah, well, it'd be like that part of the game. But another thing about that,
are you getting a click in there, boy? Sorry.
No, sorry.
I was like, is that me or what's going on?
What? Taking a pen for the last 5 minutes.
Looking out the window and everything.
Paddy goes, no, it's not anyone here.
I'm an awful fidgety person. It's all
it just stops. No, it's okay. I thought it was something on this side. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
It's just in clicking.
News from TROP-CAST.
There's a clicker in board.
We have got a clicker.
I was going to say, but the last point of what you were saying there, but the difference on if you're supposed to be in a Western mode or whatever like that, there, a lot of the things you can't build up a relationship with the community on the online is because everybody just wants to kill you. And like, it'd be a lot better if they could develop some kind of game where people were maybe fishing with each other or something, something to develop like a tribe, or something to bring in the community that could actually make it feel like the storyline kind of like, this playing off the way the storyline was, where you're a part of something, you were trying to build something. But they could have done that, that kind of way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the griefers were hardship in that game, weren't they?
Seeing anyone, you knew you were either dead or you're going to kill them. There's nothing, like, there's so much. I suppose GTA is like that sometimes too.
Yeah, it's I just think GTA has a lot more for it, just with the era that it's in. There's only so much you can do. Like, you're not going to bring spaceships into a Western setting. But our last bit of...
Not really supposed to bring spaceships into a normal setting either. But...
No, but it still works a little bit better in a Grand Theft Auto.
The truth is out there.
Watching the skies.
Maybe spaceships wasn't the best example there.
Yes, but spaceships.
Everybody goes and plays Red Dead Redemption.
What they did with Red Dead 1, or they're going to be like, oh no, zombies,
buddies. That could happen at any time.
Why don't they do that? Like,
yeah, true.
Why?
Next.
Does it just become? Does it come to Walking Dead like?
But it was one of the best zombie DLCs, the Undead Nightmare. It was absolutely amazing. Like, why did it go and just do Undead Nightmare 2 and make it a little bit more online, where you join up with your friends and you do a little bit of a story, like Paddy said? I think that would have worked an awful lot better. But I think they just, it's very easy to just, the same world, throw a couple of people in there and have it the same kind of style as Grand Theft Auto 5, but it just...
And microtransactions.
Yeah, with the transactions, the pieces of gold.
New hat.
Yeah. You don't look too well in them jeans there, Joel.
Even the NPCs are trying to get you to buy shit, like.
There's just watches in the jackets.
It's like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. Welcome.
So the last bit of news, guys, before we go on to topic of the week. Blackout will once again, we have a trailer here actually, Blackout will once again have a free trial. You'll be able to play it for the rest of the month, starting from April the 2nd, so that's already out, so head over to the store and grab it. Though you will need an Xbox Live account or PlayStation Plus subscription to join on consoles, which is fair enough. Guys, did you put a little bit of time into this game? Has it kind of passed you, or?
It's what the reason that it's going free, and the reason that they are, if you look on Twitch, if you look on Google, if you're being targeted with these ads, you're being advertised like massively towards this game, is because they are clutching at straws. This game is nearly dead. There's nobody trying to play it. It's not like in the running anymore. It was a good game. It did a good job releasing it, but it just didn't do quick enough with the updates. They didn't listen to the consumer. They didn't. Like, this looks like a new map. Alcatraz looks fine and everything like that there. I can't see myself going back to play it. I might try it if other people download that haven't played before. But like, if you've got Apex now, is after taking over, you got the new Battlefield guy, new Battlefield game that just came out.
Firestorm, yeah.
Firestorm, and you got the Fortnite as usual. The market is swamped, and I think this one's been pushed out. Maybe Seamus thinks different, but that's my takeaway.
No, not that I think different. Like, I think Call of Duty needs to stick to what Call of Duty does best. It's short space, small maps, team deathmatch, seek and destroy, things like that, and then zombies and stuff like that. The zombies is supposed to be brilliant this year. It's supposed to be really good. The story to it is supposed to be brilliant. I never touched it at all. Zombies is not for me. The new map Alcatraz is actually kind of what people wanted when Blackout came out. It's a smaller map. People are kind of thrown on top of each other. It's faster paced. You're in and out.
It's only 60 players this time.
Yeah, but it's
60 players, and I think you've got 5 respawns.
It was a good effort, just too late, kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. I think so too.
I never put any time into it. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I would definitely prefer, like you said, Paddy, to maybe give the Battlefield game a try and see how that's going. But even the fact that this is free, I won't even touch it. So anyone that's out there that wants to give it a go, I know there's people out there that might not have had the cash to get it. Jump on, give it a go, and see does it tickle your fancy. You'll get a full server, won't you? It's not gone that kind of.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And like for people turning up, but the thing about Call of Duty is the thing I like about it is the guns have like they feel more real. That's the only thing that they have that stands out for them. And Apex is a good competition to that, whereas Fortnite's very it's cartoonish, it's very unrealistic. And Battlefield will definitely have that gun feel. I haven't played it now. I have it on the Xbox, but I haven't.
I'd be interested to play Battlefield for the older style of guns. I really like the older style weapons.
But once kind of you've got Battlefield, obviously, and you had Apex come out, it kind of took the things that were unique about Call of Duty, like that kind of gun feel and stuff like that. When they brought out Blackout and everyone was playing it, they had that real gun feel, that real gun sound and stuff. And then once they were kind of ended up in other games, and other games did it better, people just flocked away, and they left it too late to try and fix it.
Okay, so it's not good for Call of Duty.
No, we're not saying we know everything.
But we are. We're trying to
subscribe, and you should hit the Patreon up and
yeah, guys.
Did we mention that we're sponsored by Fortnite?
If you want to know everything, join our Patreon.
Yeah.
So the topic of the week, guys, is Google have released they've not released, but they've released information about their new gaming streaming platform called Stadia. We mentioned it last week. It was hot topic last week, but we're really going to dive into it now and try and figure out where this is going to be in the future, how is it going to be launched, and just a kind of a general chat. So Paddy, you missed last week, so give us a kind of an idea of where you're coming from in terms of how do you think this is going to suit the modern consumer, and do you think it's going to be a hit right from the get-go?
Well, I'm just going to run through I have a couple of points written down about it, because it's a big deal in a gaming sense, because it could be the future and it could not be, but it's going to come out and it's going to run 4K at 60 frames per second. You're going to have no downloads. You can use your controller, or you can buy a controller off them. So there's no hardware provided by them that you have to buy, which is a big deal to a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford big consoles, or to buy a console for two or three different kids. The way gaming has gone these days, that it's only a single online, like if you want to play an online multiplayer, you have to have 2 or 3 PlayStations. There is, what else? So, another thing about it is great thing. It's going to bring back, a lot of what Seamus loves, and I'm into myself, is couch co-ops. It's kind of going to make a bit more of a comeback into gaming. And what this means is you're able to pull up your screen's going to be there. And if you're, say, like Seamus is in his house now, I can pull up his screen on my screen and see from his point of view. Or if you're sitting at home, you can pull up as many screens as you want and sit on the same TV. The list goes on and on and on. What else is there? It's also a streaming service. So basically, YouTube is going to be connected to it big time. You're going to be able to upload a video straight to YouTube at 4K, someday at 8K, straight from there. It doesn't matter what the hardware you have, you're going to be able to do it. So this laptop that I have that I need to update is a piece of crap or whatever. I can play any game on it I want for a subscription service. I'm not sure what way they're going to do it. I don't want them to do like pay like a rent, so you pay a $5 and you get to play for so many hours. I don't want them to do that. I want them to do it like a subscription service like Netflix. Also, as well, the capture card. I hate capture cards. This is gonna. I hate them. Ever since
they're so expensive as well.
So expensive, so crap. This gets away from all your hardware that you need. It gets away with so much, and people are saying to me that the internet's not going to be good enough. This is not going to be good enough. That's not going to be good enough. This is the starting point. They have to start somewhere. They tried to have a social media. Google tried to have a social media, Google Plus or whatever it was called, and it didn't work. And the reason they're doing this now is to get in before somebody else gets in there first. To me, I know that you guys are always going against me and everything this, but this is the future of gaming. What do you think?
I completely understand that this is the future of gaming, but I just don't think Google can do this. And here's a few reasons.
Okay, if Google can't do it, who can do
it? Google Plus was the biggest example for Google not being able to do it.
No. But my point on that was Facebook was already there. Stuff was already there. This is coming in first.
We've got PlayStation now. We've got Xbox.
PlayStation now barely works.
It does work, Paddy.
No, it works now. It works now.
The PlayStation now works.
And we've got Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is the perfect example of
but you know, Xbox Game Pass is there. The two things that you're saying there is you need a PlayStation, you need an Xbox.
Yeah, but that's fine, right? Right, we'll take this into account, right? You want to be a person who streams and make content or whatever, and you want to take that and put it online. If you want to play games online, this whole system is fine for playing games that are single player.
Yeah.
You want to play a game online, you're connecting to a machine that's off on a site somewhere else.
Yeah, but that has yet to be proven.
That machine is connected to the internet as well.
But that's still yet to be proven. You can't say like it's not going to be able to do this, not going to be able to do that. You don't know that.
I can no, but I'm not. I'm saying if I'm playing Fortnite on my laptop, whatever, and someone else is playing Fortnite on a PC server using that same thing, you're always going to have the upper hand on that person, no matter what. Just genuinely how the internet works and how latency works, you will always have the upper hand on that person.
They have been like I know myself. They've been building these. What do they call the places they go to? The servers. They've been building these servers all over the world. My father worked on putting the lines into them.
When they tested when they had these at conventions and they were tested, the Google Stadia had 163 ms just on playing solo single player games on that site, and the servers were on site for that testing.
Doom was one of them, and it was said that there was a delay. It was a slight delay on Doom. There was another game that they were playing. I think it was Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
And they said it was perfect. Now, in fairness to Paddy, he is saying that this is obviously the start of a. For me, the way I kind of look at this is I've kind of transferred nearly totally over to PC gaming, and to build a PC that I have that can run Fortnite at 150 frames per second, not a glitch. I don't feel anything. I like having a mouse and keyboard. I'm not sure how this will kind of suit into my gaming needs. Will I be able to hook up a mouse and keyboard? Will I have the same customization as I do with my PC?
It's your any laptop, any computer, any device. You can do whatever you want to do on it. You can play on it.
But is this trying to attack not the attack, but is this trying to
attack? They're going to have cross-play attributes. They're not trying to attack any console. They're not trying to do anything. They're just trying to get into the market.
But is it not trying to get into the console market rather than?
It's not a console. It's a streaming service.
But is it not going to be released with a controller?
I'd be more that they're trying to attack like Twitch or something. They're not. They've allowed cross-platform straight away. So like they're not trying to attack any other platforms. If a game allows itself to be cross-platform, it's going to happen. So they're not really attacking. I understand where you can plug in a keyboard and mouse to whatever device is able to take the keyboard and mouse and play the way you want to play.
Yeah.
Like another great thing about it was they showed Google is obviously an ad platform. They get most of their revenue from ads, and I don't know. I hope they don't bring it in that you watch a certain amount and you watch an ad and then you play. You know what I mean? You play another bit. But they show that what you could do straight away. Say if I was watching you play a game now, which is obviously an ad. It could be an ad for the game.
Yeah.
It brings up a panel on the bottom of the screen, and it says play now. I can click that and go straight into the game. No downloading, no buying the game, no waiting for it to do this, waiting for do that. Sign up maybe in a different thing. As long as you have a Chrome thing open, like. they're doing. I think it's amazing.
It's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I think it is.
Like I understand what you're worried about this and worried about that, but the whole world started somewhere. I'm guessing like we looked when we got a mobile phone when we were like 13, 14, and it was a Nokia 3210, and we were able to send text messages. And the first thing we're able to do is make ringtones and shit like that. Look at where we're at now. Like things have to start off somewhere. Yeah. iPhone started somewhere. Everything starts somewhere.
I'm just not sure.
It's going to be there.
I'm just not sure that it's going to be good enough in a short amount of time to take over the digital world. You know what I mean? Like, will it just be a case that people would prefer to download their games digitally from a Steam library or whatever, have them there on your system? You're not going to lose them, or stream them from this super server, whatever we're going to get. Like, are we going to be getting a performance that will allow for online competitive gaming for a casual gamer that is playing Assassin's Creed and all your single player games? 100%. I do it in my sitting room now. I have it's called Steam Link or something, and it works good, but there is a slight delay, and I'm in the same house doing that. There's a slight delay.
It's definitely not going to be like that forever. Like. If you look at the way we were, like, even having the internet on 10 years ago, like, it's serious difference between now and then, like, between now and back then. Like, these things change so quick these days, and things are only going to develop quicker and quicker and quicker. This is the technology age, and like, people are looking to get, like, the virtual reality hasn't even kicked off yet. These things are going to take time. Like, and this is the start of Google is getting in before anyone else gets the chance, and they have billions upon billions to spend at this, and they can keep throwing money at it. Like, Netflix is doing the same. Netflix is in debt, and they are not going to go anywhere. Like, I know I'm comparing them because they're the same kind of thing.
Are you not worried about, like, just kind of boil down to the brass kind of tacks of it all here? Are you not worried about games? Strictly games. Google are coming into this market without having any developing companies apart from.
They have developed. They've had their own developer.
Well, Ubisoft are gone on, but that's the only.
No, but they're made their own in-house developers as well.
But who, like, these are, like, who are they?
They're making their own one. I'm saying.
I know, but how do you know that them games are going to be any good? Like, do you know what I mean? No, they're building these teams.
The actual presentation was actually a pitch. There was more pitch to developers than it was to the gamers at the minute. They were come in, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. We have show you the tools you can use this, you can use that, you can develop your games on site, you can do this, you can do whatever you want. Like, if they offer them to come in and they give them a deal, like, they could be the same as Netflix, where they try out loads of different indie people, they try all these different games and they throw it out and see what works. Like,
yeah, but do you want to be paying a subscription then for a bunch of indie games?
Yeah, but we don't know what they're releasing yet. You have to see what they release first. Obviously, they have to have their own individual titles for this to work. And we have to see what they're going to come out with. Like, will they have their own individual games? Will they imagine they went in and just swooped the license of something and just took it with them? Like, like, they have enough money to do it. To take a loss in the first few years for it to develop into something bigger. Like, that's what companies do.
So I think it's a very interesting time in gaming. I think the fact that, PlayStation could well be doing this. They bought Gaikai there. They have the PlayStation Now service, which I've played the PlayStation Now service. It works very well. I played Red Dead Redemption 1 and it didn't notice any hiccups at all. So they actually have actually started building a service like this. But with Google, they're pushing everything out. They're throwing all their cards in. I do hope they can get the games, because if the games aren't there and PlayStation are bringing out The Last of Us 3, God of War 2, all these games, I don't know whether I would jump over to this system because of you can play it anywhere, or you can
throw enough money at if anyone threw enough money at you, you would. Like, it's like, these places are businesses at the end of the day.
But like you said, like what's like stopping, like, PlayStation Now going as an app on a tablet?
Absolutely nothing.
You know what I mean? It's the exact same. Like, PlayStation and Xbox already have libraries.
They don't have
already
the servers. They don't have the servers that Google
PlayStation have Geico. They own part of the internet.
They bought Geico.
I'm telling you now, Google has been building these places in the background for years and years and years that no one knew about.
But Google have to run all these other things as well. They have to manage Facebook.
But these are individual servers for them. This has been going on in the background. These are individual servers that they have for these games. It's not going to be like you're jumping to America with these things. They have these planted in all places across Europe. You are going from here to that place in Dublin, or here to place and thing, to take up the game, to make sure the latency is fine, to everything. They are, like, I'm telling you, they're putting so much money into this. that they really, really believe that this is going to take off.
When is it being released? When can we have a go at that first?
I think they're going to be. It's 2019, so I think E3 is where we're going to find out everything.
It's very interesting, like because it feels like, you know, it has that feeling of a new console. It really does. I want to see them, you know, not just have Assassin's Creed or old games, but I want to see them with this, you know, something totally new at E3.
They have to come out with something. They have to come out with something huge.
Yeah, if they come out with a couple of new games.
If they announce this thing with Bloodborne 2, it's game over.
It's not going to happen.
It's game over.
Sony owned Bloodborne IP. It's not going to happen. But it's definitely interesting. It's one of the most interesting things. It kind of reminds me of when VR started to really be talked about in a way. This kind of feels like it's going to be the future. I agree with everything you're saying, Paddy. Anything I'm saying to you is just to throw a kind of a spanner into the mix.
I understand that. It's not a thing. A lot of people, I can see it in the chat. I can see it everywhere. A lot of people, a lot of people are worth. It's the physical. I hate to tell everybody that stores, like I know I can say here, but if you look at anything to do with business or like that, there are people with storefronts and people are trying to get away from this kind of thing where storefronts, physical copies of stuff, anything they can get to the consumer quicker, they're going to do it to cut out the middlemen, to cut out, like the GameStop is going to go under. I'm going to see you're going to see retro stores pop up and everything. I'm not saying it's the end of physical for a good long time, but it's not going to be around forever.
Physical doesn't bother me. Like no, I'm digital 100%.
It does bother a lot of people, and I understand why. I have a collection of stuff myself. I have more stuff out there. I love this. It's something about owning the box. It can't be changed, but they are not focused on our generation. It's the future generation that will not care about the discs and the boxes. We do care because that's what we grew up with, but they don't.
It's the same crossover from vinyl to CD to MP3. Yeah, exactly. It's there's no difference.
A DVD lasted for about a year. You know, 4K, like the Blu-ray disc didn't have a chance. Do you know what I mean? Things move so fast, and like if you could tell me that I could turn on a game there, and I could put on the brand new, like even Shadows Die Twice, I don't want to buy that game. That has no interest to me. But if I had the choice here, a subscription service, and saying, "Oh, the lads are playing that. It's on there. I'm subscribed to it. I think I'll give it a go." Do you know what I mean? That'd be great.
So as in, like, you could trial the game without actually...
I could try it. It was on the subscription service there, like in Netflix. Like, I turn something on Netflix on there now, and I won't like it. I'll turn it off again. But if I went to rent it out, like, that's what it used to be. If I went to rent it out, I'd have no choice. That was paid for. But I have a subscription service with, like, 100 games on it just to start off. And I had to pay, well, say more than 100 games, a whole bloody library or whatever. And I only had to pay 12 quid, 15 quid, 16 quid. I'd be delighted to buy it. I wouldn't have to worry about not liking it. I'd just have to turn it off again.
And wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice, like you're saying, if you paid, let's say it was 60 quid a year. Now that's really pushing it, but 60 quid, same as a PS Plus subscription, same as an Xbox. If you were just everything was available to you for that 60. So anything new that came out, because I know with Game Pass, that's kind of the way it works. I am on Game Pass, and every so often I look, okay, that's on Game Pass, that's cool, I'll give that a go. I think if they do bring out something that really cuts the price on it at the start, like bring it out like the way Netflix was. I think Netflix was like 6 quid or something when it first released. Bring it out for something very, very cheap. Let everyone try it, and then grow it from there.
They're going to take a loss for a few years. That's the way. I think that's their business model. I think that's why a lot of businesses will go into it. They'll take a loss for 1 or 2 years, and next thing, the money will just be piling in on them. That's the way it is. That's the way it all starts. I'm not saying it's going to take over. I hope Xbox doesn't go. I hope PlayStation doesn't go. I hope none of them goes. It just like we're. I just think is. All my point is it is the start of something, and I think PlayStation, Xbox are all going to do it, and they're all going to be discless at one stage. I mean, it's not. It's either it's either next generation or the one after. It's no further on than that.
I agree with that.
About 4 hours.
No, I can agree with that. So guys, we're kind of nearly wrapped up. That was an awesome conversation, topic of the week. Anything else to add before we jump kind of to the end section of the show?
Yeah, that was tiring.
Yeah, you were ready for that one, Paddy. I'd say you were in the chat last week going, "Oh, Jesus, I can't wait to get on."
I had a whole Rocky montage of him chatting in the window about this. You're going to tell them about this service.
It's very interesting to me.
It's brilliant.
I mean, we've been talking about it since like last year. It's been popping up, and it's just it's great to see it. And we're going to look at E3 while it's on and just be like, "Look, I told you."
So we'll go to our usual sections at the end of the show. Seamus, you have a quick one for us today in This Day in Gaming. What is it? I
just have to mention one. And it was in 1997 today in the United States. Doom 64 came out. Shout out to John Romero.
Nice.
That's the only one I wanted to mention. Everything else that kind of came out it's kind of mediocre.
Go on, give us a go. Give us a few more.
Okay, let's have a go. See, it's all kind of specific places. Like a great game, like Black and White was a great game, but it literally only came out in Germany this day in 2000.
Black and White, that was the one where you control a god, was it?
It was like one of the original kind of, yeah, exactly, kind of like an MMO-y kind of thing. What else came out today? There's something really like you can have Bust a Move Deluxe on the PSP. I mean, madness. Guitar Hero 2 came out in Australia on the Xbox 360.
So nothing too crazy.
Half-Life 2, the episode pack came out in Japan.
Episode 1, was it?
Episode 2, Half-Life 2, the episode pack.
And then that was the last we ever heard of it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Still Half-Life 3. Come on, E3.
So our new topic is the Gaming Guinness Book of Records. I basically pick a page, and today's page is the top 10 FIFA cover appearances. So let's go from, let me see now.
Take a few guesses in the chat and stuff first. Hold on now.
Okay, let's go from the top 5. Seamus, what do you think is number 5? It's a toughie.
Who's appeared in a few FIFAs?
I'll give it to you. Landon Donovan. He has appeared 4 times. Then you have,
what a player,
believe it or not, Leo Messi, who has appeared on 5 covers: FIFA 13, 14, 15, 16, and FIFA Street. Then we have Tim Cahill. He appeared on 7 covers. Wow.
Come on, Tim. He only retired there last week.
Joint with him is Wayne Rooney, and he was actually top consecutive appearances. And number 1, Seamus, you actually got it right at the start. Paddy, you mentioned him. It's Ronaldinho. He appeared on 9 covers of FIFA, and to be quite honest with you, if you were to pick one of my favourite players of all time, he is definitely up there for just pure entertainment value. What a man.
I just remember him and Rooney were the cover of FIFA 11.
FIFA 11, yeah. Rooney was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Ronaldinho was 2004, 2006 World Cup, FIFA 07, 08, 09, 10, FIFA Street and FIFA Street 3.
Who was on the cover of FIFA 2001?
I'm after putting my page down.
It won't be. It's not on that list. No, his partner in crime though.
It's Henri.
2001's Paul Scholes.
2001.
It might be Henri and some other version, but he is Paul Scholes in an England jersey.
My son.
Go on, my son. So community section, Paddy, you've been looking out for a few questions there. Any questions in the chat?
John wants to know what your favourite boss so far is in Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, my favourite boss is Genichiro. Is that how you pronounce it? On top of the dojo. Just for the fact that it's a beautiful setting. He kicked my ass about 20 times, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm looking forward to Seamus getting to that boss and getting his ass kicked. I also, the other night, bumped into the Guardian Apes, which I do love as well. I love the way they change it up to have kind of monster enemies as well. But Genichiro is my favourite so far, and I'm about 25 hours in.
I'm just going to put it out there, the comment for the FIFA cover for John Aldino, I think we should make this happen. We should have a John Aldino cover for FIFA.
John Aldino, it's going to happen.
The left-winger ginger assassin should be the cover.
I'll get on to it, John.
What do you think of the BAFTAs?
What are your opinions on the BAFTA Awards? I think they're doing a lot for video games. John Romero is actually at them. Yeah,
Shout out to
I'm
John.
as far as award ceremonies, like I'm not really, I suppose, big into watching them all. I'd watch Game of the Year awards and stuff like that, and so
E3s. We watched E3 last year. Watch it this year again.
yeah, we'll watch E3 and do a
I suppose
live kind of.
it's not an award, but we like them kind of ceremonies.
Will we see Ronan Platinum Sekiro? Jeez, that's a rough task.
I don't think so, because I don't want to take the appreciation I have for that game by running it into the ground.
By killing myself.
It might just take it. It might be the end of the game. You're sick of the game, so you might just wait till the platinum might be a bit of a bitch.
Like anytime someone says, "Will you go for the platinum?" If I naturally progress towards it and I have a couple of more trophies to get at the end, I will push on to it. But I'll never go out my way to get a platinum, just for the simple fact that I don't have the time, and sometimes it ruins games for me. I have a couple of platinums that I'm very proud of, and I'll keep it that way. Sekiro.
It's Spider-Man 1, because everyone seems to have fucking Spider-Man.
I didn't actually clear Spider-Man. My son cleared it, and I could have seen the ending, so I was kind of happy watching him.
Not so bad.
No, I have a couple. I have a Resogun is probably my proudest one, because it's just totally skill based. And it was one of the first games that came out. It was the first game that came out for the PS4, and I loved it. It was a arcade, like a Space Invaders game. It was brilliant.
Platinum Jack says it's up to him, so
yeah, it's up to you, Jack.
Good luck, Jack. We want playthrough videos.
my favorite 100% that I didn't get a platinum for was my Game of the Year last year, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. They didn't even have a platinum trophy. I mean,
You were devastated about that one.
Give me your email. I'll send you a notification. We'll just pretend you got one. How would that?
a physical award I lifted on this remix.
Physical award, a physical one. All right, here you can have this empty can. I shall send it to you.
So is that it, guys? We'll go to shout outs, plugs, and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So a couple of announcements first and foremost. Next week, next Thursday, 9:30, we are going to have a special guest on. Absolute filth, an Irish streamer from Meath, unbelievable crack, plenty of energy. Head over to his Twitch channel. I think it's Absolute Filth TV.
Yeah, he's streaming FIFA now, I think.
He's streaming FIFA. Very interactive with his audience, and I think he's going to be a great guest next week. So we're looking forward to that. Paddy, do you want to give your shout outs and we'll get out of
here? Yeah. Well, thanks for the brand new sponsor. Thanks for you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up that logo now. Just to, that's not the logo. Okay, it's not working for some reason. No, it's okay.
It's okay. And thanks for all the members of TROP, as usual. And you can find me on the Twitch channel. I think it's like 3 days a week now, from 8 till say 12 maybe on a Wednesday, Friday.
Stop
and
lying.
Saturday.
3 or 4 in the morning.
Depends how much you get.
Depends what time Dave comes on it. I know you're out there.
That's it. Twitch.tv, whatever it is, Republic of Players.
The rep of players.
The rep of players.
That's it. I'm just out of energy, lads. It's over.
It's okay. You put a lot of energy into that Stadia conversation, so it's all right.
It's over.
He's in training, guys. He's working his way back up.
Fano is usually very quick, and I have to be on the button after him, so let's do it, Fano.
Right, so usually you can find me over at Twitch at Maroxide and on Twitter at Maroxide2. So we'll pass it on to Ronan and he'll finish it off for the night.
Yeah, thanks a million everyone in the chat that got involved there. You know, it's always great to do these shows, and we're glad that we have people watching us. And next week is going to be a big one, so make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you hit the bell as well on the YouTube channel to make sure you know when we go live. I am streaming now over on Facebook at the Alpha Fox. Check out that channel. We just hit 500 follows and we're on about 450 likes. So it's going really good. So check out that. As well, go over to the republicofplayers.com where we have content being put up on that weekly. Our fourth member, Pat Curley, he couldn't be with us today. Shout out to him. He does a lot of the content over there, and a really great addition to the team, so fair play to you. And yeah, as Paddy says, the Twitch channel is the Rep of Players, where Paddy's over there kicking ass on Apex. I will be playing some Sekiro later on tonight. I'm sure John Aldini will be joining me. He seems to be one of the regulars out there. Thanks a million, John. Always a pleasure chatting to you. This has been TROP-CAST episode 26. I have been your host, Ronan Fox. From Paddy, Seamus, and everyone else from the Republic of Gaming community, we are